Welcome to my random kitchen in our temporary home this week. I am Brittany Bass, a full-time passenger seat princess and operations manager of Matt Becker Fishing. If you don't know me yet, I am also Matt Becker's girlfriend. He's a professional bass fisherman with Major League Fishing on the Bass Pro Tour. And we are literally at the end of our second season on that tour. So super exciting. But he is why I am always in these random kitchens and traveling everywhere because we travel all over the country for that. So with this channel and podcast, I get to bring you some of the best wives, fiancés, and girlfriends, even some mamas, to talk about their lives, their families, and all the behind the scenes goodness and all of the goodness that goes on during a tournament season. So that you can hear from our side, like everything that goes in on that back end. So this is episode 26 of Random Kitchens. I know.
I can't believe you're on episode 26.
I can't either.
Okay. So his whole flight, it's a lot. So I'm not sure I'll say it all correctly, but we're just going to wing it.
Okay. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. So we are sitting in Michigan after a crazy whirlwind travel sesh that you guys know me and Matt have been through with going through ICAST, and as you saw in the last video, but also Miranda and Kyle went through, and theirs is a little bit different, a little bit crazier. So you guys have met Miranda before when we did one of our first episodes where you actually got to be introduced to her and their life. But then she was also on Bass WAGS Coffee Date. Right after that, something like hugely amazing happened in their family. So I wanted to have her back on so that we could go through it all and you guys could celebrate too. So welcome back, Miranda Cortiana, to my random kitchen.
Yeah.
So how's your week been so far?
It's been great.
Yeah.
I like Michigan. It's beautiful. Yeah. And where we're camping is right by the beach, just like your place.
Oh, y'all have a beach over there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet yours is nicer. This one apparently is nice, but they said don't park your car down there. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, the only thing with ours, they don't allow dogs, so Marshall. But I'll go early in the morning and we'll walk around while nobody's out there.
Oh, yeah. They won't even know.
Yeah, they have a big beach area. They have these cute little rental homes I wish you could have got. And it's a covered back patio, and you have 2 rocking chairs, and you're right on the beach. You would have loved it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
We got a cute little house, like, kind of more in the middle.
It is cute.
So this Michigan is like, or this tournament in general, it's going out of the Detroit River, but that makes it an extremely large playing field. We can either go basically an hour and a half to 2 hours north, or an hour and a half to 2 hours over, which actually is closer by boat. But because of that, we're to Lake Erie or St. Clair is like the 2 bodies of water that a fisherman has to decide if they want to fish, where they want to fish and how they want to do that, or the river in between. So it's a lot
of area.
Yeah, it's like Ohio, Michigan, and Canada are all in play, and potentially like an Indian reservation. There's like a whole bunch that's all in the mix. I don't know if the Indian reservation is in play this time, but I remember when we were here, I guess it was last year, you had to get like a special license or something.
Oh, wow.
If
I
you
didn't
did
know
it.
about that.
Yeah, they put it in the little meeting or whatever. I was like, oh, and it has a fun name. Cool. It's like a whip-a-woo or something.
It sounds like a bird.
Yeah, it's something like that. So lots of different like playing area, which is a little bit crazy. But when this episode airs, the tournament will start the next day. So it goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week. So if you want to tune in and watch, they are live all 3 days. This is stop 6 of the MLF Invitationals. So super, super exciting. Last event of the year for them. But it has been a crazy, crazy week. Like I said, our week was wild because of ICAST, and then, basically taking all of 75 from Orlando all the way up to Michigan to get here.
Drive, yeah.
But their journey has been a little bit crazier, which Miranda got the good end of that stick, I feel like.
Well, kinda. There's more to that, yeah.
So tell me what happened.
Well, Kyle was in Orlando, and I was still back in Plattsburgh, New York at the campground. So Kyle flew back to Plattsburgh. Supposedly was supposed to be there Friday. Well, he flew from Orlando to Philadelphia, no issues.
Yeah.
We were blessed. But because of this huge, I don't even know, how do you explain it?
It was a power outage. Yeah, they had a massive, and you guys probably knew about it, especially if you knew anyone flying, but like worldwide, it wasn't a power outage. It was a system outage is what it was.
It was like a software update that went bad.
Went rogue, went through, and it basically grounded all flights.
So Kyle's first flight was fine, and then his connecting flight was delayed. And it just kept getting delayed, hour after hour. And then it finally arrived, but it was 9:45, 10 o'clock. But it still said they were going to depart. Yeah. And then once the plane arrived, they said his flight was canceled. Because I think it was a staffing issue because they probably maxed out on their hours for the day. So I think the crew had to rest, get some sleep. So they did put Kyle and all those people up in a hotel, which was nice.
That's nice.
And then he was supposed to depart at 10:30 the next morning. So he got up, shuttled over from the hotel, and everybody on that flight got to know each other. They were calling each other the Breakfast Club. They all befriended each other. There was a doctor on the flight. There was an IT guy. There was a U.S. Olympian. Like, they all just befriended each other. But anyway, so they got on their plane to depart at 10:30 that morning, and Kyle was telling me it sounded like when the plane backed up, there was this huge, like, crash, like, jarring motion. That's good. And then they saw the, like, airline mechanic come out with, it looked like a jack, and they were, like, jacking up the tire or something.
Can you do that?
No. But
they,
Kyle said
lost a wheel?
Yeah, you could feel the vibrations and stuff, because this is a little plane. And they're like, okay. And I guess they fixed it, and they get on the runway. They're fully, like, excelling, ready for liftoff. And Kyle said they just slammed on the brakes.
Oh, geez.
And the plane just came to, like, a sharp, like, throw you out of the seat halt.
Oh, geez.
And I guess they said, guys, sorry, we got to turn around. We're having some difficulties. They had all these red alert alarms going off in the cockpit. So they got back, and they had to exit the plane. Apparently, one of the air compressors went out for the jet engine. Cow. So you normally have two engines. That would have put them with one, which is your backup engine. And they wouldn't have had any kind of, like, airflow AC in the flight, and it would have been extremely hot.
Oh, my gosh.
So they didn't fix the problem, I guess, that there was. So they got delayed. They had to go back in the airport and wait. Then they were told they had another plane coming in, and that was going to be their plane. Well, then there was discrepancies between different flight crews, like who's going to get the good plane and who's going to get the bad one. So at first they weren't going to get the plane that was ready to go. But at this point, like, I guess they had crew in Plattsburgh that was trying to make it back. And we're going on almost, I think, like 20 hours at this point. They've been stuck in Plattsburgh. So really they had priority, but they still weren't wanting to give it. But the pilot called someone and complained and basically said, I'm not getting on the other plane. This is my plane. Yeah. And, like, I'm not going to fly with you anymore if you don't get me this plane. And he was, like, a senior pilot. Like, he's used to this. So they gave him the plane by the grace of God, and they got on the nice plane, and they finally made it back. But he was supposed to be back at 8:30
I wouldn't want to be on the bad plane.
No.
What do you mean they're even, like, thinking of giving a bad plane to people?
I know, right? It's really scary to think of the inner works of, like,
how often stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like flying. I want to keep enjoying it.
Yeah, you don't want to think about the what ifs. Like, if had Kyle and them taken off.
I know. Like, how would they have been able to land?
Scary.
Yeah.
Like, what if their extra engine went out? There? So.
Yeah, I don't think those big ones glide very well.
It was frustrating, but he was thankful that they didn't take off.
Yeah.
The pilot made the right choice. And there was two pilots, obviously. And the younger guy, he graduated from OSU, where Kyle graduated, Oklahoma State University. So they all made friends. All the staff between Contour Airlines and then all the passengers all became really good friends. Because
is that who it was? Because it's a jumper, right? Between Philly and Plattsburgh. Yeah. Plattsburgh has a smaller airport.
Little bitty.
But they have like a few directs out different places. So that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But so he left. So we were all at ICAST, like I told you, big fishing family reunion. He left Friday. But didn't get into Plattsburgh until
Saturday at 3 p.m.
And we all had to be in Michigan by Sunday because practice started Monday. So not only was he trying to get home, couldn't get home, he was also going home to the wrong direction.
Right.
Complete opposite side.
Bless his heart. He was traveling like hours and hours via plane and then via truck, pulling his boat for days. Like, by the time we made it to Michigan, we were exhausted. We were cranky. We're like, it's best we don't even talk to each other at this point. No. It was rough.
It's just pulling and go to sleep.
The bad thing is, I had to move my truck, my camper, to like an overflow parking area, and I had to move his truck and boat to an overflow parking area because someone was coming into our site. Okay. So normally it's a team effort to break down the camper, pack everything up. No. This girl got to do it all. Yeah, by myself.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it was fine, but it was not the game plan. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, I know. So when we were talking to her in her episode, I remember you saying that you learned how to do all of it. And like,
for these scenarios.
These exact situations.
I'm glad you brought that up.
So nice because like when we went, Matt and I went out west and we got an RV when we did it, and like I did not touch any of those hoses. I mean, none of that stuff. Yeah. So I wouldn't have. I would have had to solicit some help.
I didn't even think about that. I'm just used to knowing how to do it. But there's a lot of wives that don't know how to hook up the camper.
No.
They don't feel confident enough to drive it around. Like, our camper's 37 foot.
Yeah.
So it's very intimidating if you've never done it before. Yeah. So, yeah, Kyle should be very thankful.
I was going to say, that's really good.
All that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, craziness happened, but we're glad that we're all here in Michigan. Yeah. So, hopefully this tournament goes well because, well, one, it's just like fun. It's smallmouth. But two, they had something very, very exciting happen in their life. So just kind of keep that momentum rolling.
Right.
But exciting news that maybe has to do with our cute little trophy on the oven.
Champion.
So tell us about it. So what went down? So actually, let's start with, we did Bass WAGS coffee date at Plattsburgh with all the wives. And then, so that was an invitational event. And then what did y'all do? Where did y'all go?
We stayed there the whole time. We were in Plattsburgh for a total of 42 nights.
Woo!
A long stay for us. And I love the city of Plattsburgh. I love this upstate New York area. But yeah, we were there the whole time. So Kyle got a lot of time on the water. And you can ask the locals. It was, like someone said, like middle of June, they go to fish, and Kyle's truck and trailer are always there. He's so dedicated to this sport. He puts the hours in. So he was feeling confident on this Toyota series on Lake Champlain. Yeah. So
that's what I was going to ask. So, okay, so it was a Toyota series event on Lake Champlain, and it was right before the ICAST event. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the guys obviously also were fishing that. And with Toyota series, you have a co-angler, and locals can also enter, which is like insanity because the locals up north aren't like the locals down south. Like, they know their lakes. Like, they know those fish so well. So it is very, very difficult to compete against them, especially on Champlain, because they have some of the most, like, I would say, winningest locals ever on Champlain.
Yeah.
So freaking awesome. So that's what I was going to ask. Did he, like, know going into it? Like, I heard that there was, like, a big rain before, so I didn't know, like.
Well, it's like any tournament. The weather always changes right before tourney day. So whether you're up here 30, 40 days, yes, you're getting to know the waters, but your fish are constantly moving, especially with the weather changes. So, and we had a ton of rain, which brought in a ton of running from the rivers into Champlain, and it worked in Kyle's benefit though, because he found this really cool mud line to fish on day 3, and Kyle put on his show for these other fishermen. He caught hundreds of bass, people came up to me and they're like, you know what? Like, I just had to turn around. I couldn't watch your husband anymore. Like, every time he casted, he'd hook a brownie and like reel it in. And he's like, I was getting mad. I had to turn around and fish the other way.
So it was funny. Like, okay, where this mud line was, like, this is the craziest part. There was other boats in the area, but Kyle was like on it a little different than everyone because he was catching them and no one else was. So like cool. Very fun to watch. Yes. But also probably, like you said, like a little bit frustrating for all the other fishermen.
They're like, what is he doing?
I know, Matt.
What is he throwing?
Matt and I were like, holy cow. Yeah. Like, what is going on?
He put on a show. Yeah. It was really exciting. Because when Kyle came in to weigh in, and he tied up to the dog, Mark McQuaw, like, he walked up to Kyle, he's like, yeah, so I heard through the grapevine, you did pretty good today, you know. So, I guess everybody was talking about how many fish he was catching. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the camera guys probably came in and were like, holy cow.
Yeah, like, Kyle killed it,
And LaBelle, who is, like, historically, an amazing local fisherman up there.
Yeah.
He had been leading up until this point. And so, basically, if that happens, it's, like, yours to lose or yours to win.
Yeah.
You know, based on how your day goes. So, Kyle had, like, I feel like steadily increased. Like, weren't his bags like a little more?
I think so.
And then the last day he just like smacked them.
And he could have had every day about 23 pounds. Yeah. But he had some key fish that he didn't get in the boat. But yeah.
Insanity. Yeah. So they won this last Toyota Series. So they got a trophy. They got, what was it, 40?
It was 40 grand.
Yeah,
for
40 grand.
Place. Yeah.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
Is it his first win?
This is his first major win. So in 2016, back then, instead of the Toyota Series, it was the Costa Series.
Oh, yeah.
And he tied for first back in Oklahoma on Fort Gibson. And wouldn't you know, he lost the tiebreaker.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that was a tough pill for Kyle to swallow. So other than that, like, where he could just, like, taste it, he almost had it. This is his first major win.
Heck yeah.
I know, very exciting, yeah.
So how did he feel, like, after it? Did he come home and he's just like, is it real?
Yeah, he definitely on cloud 9. You know how hard these guys work.
I know.
And the time, the dedication, the hours, the drive our guys have to do this. So it was an amazing tournament for Kyle, and I cried like a baby on the stage.
Did you? I was gonna ask.
Yeah. Well, it was really nerve-wracking. So with the Costas, you know, the top 25 pros and the co-anglers. Well, they always weigh in the co-anglers first. So it's a long time to be waiting to weigh in your fish to see if you've won this tournament.
Yes.
So my nerves were just
churned.
Yes, for hours before we knew for sure that he won, because we kind of had an inkling like he might have took this home. Yeah, he might have this one, because you know you kind of hear people's weights from other people, and we're like, did you just win this? Yeah. You know, but you don't know until you go up on that stage and really weigh your fish.
Well, and they try to like put you in line with what, based on what the photographer saw, the camera saw. They try to put you in the tanks so that like there's like a hot seat, but then like the top one ends up weighing like close to the end.
Right.
And Kyle weighed like 4 before the end.
Yeah, because he was 4th going into it. Yeah. So he had 3 more guys to weigh after him.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So I remember seeing his bag, and he like obviously bumped the hot seat at that time. And I was like, woo, yay, Miranda, like great day. And then when he came back and they like did the LaBelle, and he only had like 18 pounds that day, I was like, holy crap, Miranda! I was like, oh my God. Matt walks in the door because he was like out rigging tackle. He walks in and he was like, he took it home. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I know.
It's like a pinch me moment.
It is. It's hard to do. And like you said, you had some true sticks on this lake, a bunch of locals that they know this water like the back of their hand. So it proves hard work, dedication, inkling, gut feeling, like he did it.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I know, like, Matt will still look at his and be like, yeah, I did that. Like, I did, you know, like, not that he forgets, but, like, I feel like it's, like, reassurance. Then every time you look at your trophy, you're like,
such a great
I
memory.
did that. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I put it together. I did it, you know.
Because so much goes into it. Yeah. This will be something Kyle will never forget. Me either. So.
Yeah. No, that is so exciting.
So proud of him.
At the same week, Marshall graduated too. I just had to mention it. I didn't put that in here, but Marshall did graduate obedience school.
I signed him up at PetSmart because they had a 6-week course. I'm like, well, we're going to be here that long. So once a week, he would go to PetSmart and do his training, and he did so great. I was so proud of him, and he graduated like a big boy. So yeah,
was it good?
Yeah. No, it was reassurance for things that I had already taught him, but I definitely learned a lot of new things too. Yeah. And he got to engage with other dogs because that's something we struggle with. He likes to bark at other dogs, so. I think it helped a little bit. We still will never. Well, we're never gonna perfect this. It's like in him to just bark at other dogs. He's got little man syndrome. He doesn't know how to say hi. No, yeah, he gets too excited. Yeah, but he did graduate. Yeah.
So not only did they win, Marshall graduate, but also it was her birthday. Yes. Okay, so like lots going on. Yeah, lots of very excellent things.
Busy month. Yeah. I turned 39.
Yeah, and that is so exciting.
Oh, I'm getting old, but yeah, I'm embracing it. So for my birthday, I love Warren Ziders. Do you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Long hair man.
Oh man.
I saw him on, I think, Reels. Yeah, because he's
related
to
I know, and Little Poison.
Yeah, I tell Matt that basically that's me all the time. Like I'm like a beautiful disaster, like Pretty Little Poison. Like you just can't get enough.
It's a great song. So I had looked at his tour schedule earlier in the year to see if he was going to be anywhere we were, and I didn't see him. So it was a shock when I looked on like Plattsburgh city website to see what's going on in the area while I'm here. And I saw he was going to be playing at the county fair. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I got to go. And it was the day before my birthday. So me and Kyle, we got tickets, and he agreed to go even though he fished all day long.
Well, I was going to say, and that's kind of crazy too. Yeah. I feel like, especially for Kyle or like Matt, like typically, tournament time, there's like no extracurricular, and I saw that they went, and it was after a tournament day.
Day one.
Yeah, it was after day one tournament day.
Over there.
Yes, it's good though. I feel like it's good for their mind when you do that.
Oh yeah, and we were home by 10, and it was only like 15 minutes away from where we were camping. It was just the perfect scenario to go see him. So I got to have my birthday present.
Guys were close.
Oh, super close. Yeah. So we had a great time and great concert, Warren Ziders. I want to see you again. And so now we joke that he's got to take me to a Warren Ziders concert all the time. Yeah.
At least a concert of any kind.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's good. It probably relaxed him going into the second day, you know? Yeah. Or at least, like, made his brain mush so that, you know.
He was exhausted. Yes. He slept well that night.
It's good. It's very, very good. Yeah. So I asked, like, before we started this, or it kind of came up, but they do live in an RV. So I was going to ask, where are you going to put the trophy?
That's a good question. Right now, it's
very big.
It's a honker. Yeah, it's big.
I'll go get it.
Right now, it sits on Kyle's desk space, and then we'll just pack it up when we travel.
See, look at this.
It's huge.
I know.
Yeah. Giant. Proud of you, Kyle. Yeah. So it'll probably eventually end up when we get back to Oklahoma at Kyle's dad's house. Yeah. He'll probably put it on a shelf for us somewhere. He's got a few other ones there, so.
I love that. Yeah, and then maybe get a man cave eventually.
One day. That's the goal.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What are you guys going to do with the money?
Well, as you know, fishing is not cheap.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it bills?
Yeah, it's just going to roll into like next year's expenses. And then we put it in the money market and make money on our money. So, yeah.
No, that's all good things. Yeah. I always ask, and it's actually funny. So, MLF hired a company at the beginning of this year that does lots of other sports teams basically like their social or like their media content, and they get some of our guys, meaning our media people, to ask different questions. And I was talking to Joel about it. Joel Shangle works closely with them.
Yeah.
And they always ask, like, after the win, like, what are you going to do with the money?
Yeah.
And Joel is like, our crew is different, right? Like, we pay bills, like, we put kids through college, like, we have family expenses versus like having like bottomless contracts, so then all the money's just extra. He's like, you have to ask them what it means to them, like, because it just means something so different than just like winning the Super Bowl, or like, I mean, I guess that probably means something deeper to them, like the Super Bowl, but like when you win cash prizes at other types of things, you also have this like crazy, backing of a base pay. So like now I feel like the win is just, it like helps ease some of the burdens versus
some stress off of Kyle's plate to know, ooh, okay, we got a little cushion now.
Yes. Like a little nest egg of some kind. Versus like, I'm going to blow it.
Because sometimes I don't realize the stress he's carrying, like the financial stress, because he is the breadwinner now with us traveling full time. So it definitely lifted his spirits a little bit to know he's got that cushion. Yeah.
So rolling into this week, I think it's always good. Momentum is always excellent. Like if you can end the year on a high, or even start the year, like any of that, momentum is so big. And I think it's just because it's such a brain game. This sport is like such a brain game. So I feel like any type of momentum is just, it's good.
The timing was great with ICAST too, having that win and then going into ICAST. We were grateful for that. So
well, it's just always fun. And then because like we said, fishing family reunion, so you get to see all of your sponsors and celebrate with them too. Like it's just so fun.
Yeah.
So no, it's good. It's good. Okay. Anything left that you want to dive into?
Oh gosh, did we already cover everything?
Kind of.
Yeah. I can't.
At least as far as.
I really can't think of anything too much.
Where are you guys going after this?
We'll go back to New York.
Okay.
We're going to go to the village of Clayton, New York. Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're actually headed over there, too, because his last stop is St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence River.
Yeah, and so the beginning, like, we get the same house every year, but the house is in Waddington. It wasn't fully ready, so like the beginning part is we're gonna stay in like Alexandria Bay.
Okay,
but like near there.
It's so beautiful in that area. Yes, so you're gonna go do yoga with me?
Yeah, I can.
So there's a studio called River Yoga right there in Clayton, and then after class you can go and walk and sit on the river, drink coffee. It's wonderful.
Sign me up.
Watch the sunset.
I know. We're gonna have our own little date day, is what we are. I'll bring Kristen, because she's coming back up for that one, so she'll be there.
That'll be fun. Yeah. We love Clayton. We've made really good friends with the family that owns the campground there. And the campground's only like 2 miles, it seems like, from the actual village where you go to hang out. Super close. But we'll go there, and I think we stay a couple weeks, and then we head to Messina, and we'll camp there for a week for the tournament.
Are y'all doing the Toyota up there? Okay, we'll be there for that one, too.
And then we'll go back to Clayton until, I think, mid-September, and then we'll head to Oklahoma.
Very nice. Yeah. And do their little off-season swing.
Yeah. Go back home, and Kyle will deer hunt, and I'll go quilt with my mom.
Heck yeah.
Get family time in, see our friends. Yeah.
All the good things.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you posted on all of that. But super exciting. I just wanted to share in their happiness because I was so pumped to see them win and absolutely crush it up there, especially because it's like such a difficult fishery to compete on because there's so many people up there that are just like, they just kill it.
I know.
Like, to give you for instance, even the co-angler that won had like 18 pounds average a day. The co-angler.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like insane. They're just good.
Great fishery. Yeah.
So insane. So that is our show this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We know it's a mini episode, but thank you so much for being here. Again, if you guys want to follow that journey, he is Kyle Cortiana Fishing.
Yep, on YouTube, and he'll make a good video over his win once he gets caught up with things. So I would say in the next few weeks you'll see that.
Yeah, so if you want to go and search it, definitely check that out. Kyle Cortiana Fishing. You guys know I love all of these women, clearly. I love their stories, but I also love their wins. It's been so exciting. So actually, we've had two. Was it two that right after the episode they won? So Christina Bird, they won on that episode, and then y'all after Wags Coffee, y'all won on that episode.
Right. You're good luck.
I know. I was like, how do I rub off? Right? I just rub on you. Rub it off on our side.
I'll be doing a podcast every week.
I know. But it's been pretty good luck, so I'm like, I'm pumped for that. Yeah. Very exciting.
You know what's wild? My aunt had a dream that Kyle was going to win that tournament.
I meant to ask that. So before we end, I'm going to circle back a little bit. Did you have an inkling? Like, did you have a feeling? Because I always have a gut feeling of like, either that it's going to work out well, like really well. Yeah. Or that it's going to be it. Like, yeah.
Well, I knew he had the confidence going into this, and he was on, like, a big bite. So I knew the likelihood was there. Yeah. And I know he was feeling it. My aunt had that dream. I think both of his parents had, like, an inkling. It's really weird. There's some sense about it that you're like, okay, I think this might happen. And I posted an Instagram reel that morning, like, let's take this home. Like, I knew he could do it. But for it to actually come to fruition, I don't know. We're blessed. Yeah. That's all I can say.
It is crazy. Blessed. I just feel like, did you guys, so, like, and this is going to sound probably way too personal, but that's fine. But, like, when you're sleeping, like, the night before, like, did you, like, not want to say anything, did you have any inkling at that point, like?
No, we're not, like, real, like, superstitious or anything like that. We just, pray about it. And, when we pray, it's always for Kyle's safety, all the fishermen's safety, for them to all have fun and to catch big bass. We don't pray to win these things, but we pray for success, and we're grateful for it. So that's more of what we do. Yeah. But we're not super superstitious about it. But
so I had Tilly on, and this is obviously going way tangenty, but I had Tilly on, and she said, like, her and Mark used to struggle a lot praying for a win, or, like, praying for that. And she said her pastor was like, but Tilly, this is how you run your family. You don't necessarily, if you don't feel comfortable praying for the win, pray for the success, like you said. Like, you can be and want to be successful. Like, God did not put you on this earth to make you sad about success. Like, He wants you to be successful. But when she said that, I was like, I love that, because it does. Like, I always
said that.
Yeah, because I always, like, do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I really hope, like, Matt, like, does well, and then I'll be like, oh crap, well, I hope everyone does well. But I know. But then when she said that, I was like, you know what? No, like, this is our life. Like, we want everyone to do well and be safe, and everyone to have success. But like, I don't feel bad anymore. Like, hoping he is successful. If that makes sense.
It does. Like, I have this struggle. I'm like, there's people who are sick. Like, there's people that need God's
so many
hands
other things,
more.
And I'm like praying for big fat fish.
I know, right? So it's an inner struggle, but I'm glad you said that, because they do work hard at this. They deserve this. So it's okay to pray on
the livelihood. Like, you are
support for us.
Yes. It's 100% fine to pray for that and success for your family, because in the end, it translates to also you being able to, like, do things in your life and be helpful to others in your life, and, like, care.
Domino.
Yes, domino effect. And keep, the good people, like, in this sport. Keep, positivity.
It is true. Yeah.
When she said that, I was like, well,
okay, works for me.
Works for me. I've been struggling. Thanks, God. Like, a little, a person just calm my nerves.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
No, but I do love that. Yeah. So I just wanted to know, because I get these, like, I feel like they're, like, gut feelings. I mean, it's just, like, little butterflies or something. It is, like,
the possibilities there. Yeah. Because there's some tournaments where he's like, this is tough, I'm not on them, and then miracles happen on those tournaments too, but to know that he had the confidence in himself, and he knew it really was a possibility, and then for it to actually happen, I mean, dream come true. Yeah. And I will say the MLF family, we are so thankful for them. They are so kind. They treat us like family. They truly do. We love this corporation, and we're very thankful for them. And they were so happy for Kyle, too. You can see it in their eyes, and they want a picture with me and Kyle. Like, they're so excited for you. And just the fishing community as a whole, like, after Kyle weighed in, like, Jody White immediately handed him a phone because he had to do an interview, post-win interview. And Kyle was on that interview for a good 30 minutes or so. And so many people stuck around just to talk to him and shake his hand and tell him how they were just, so pumped for him, and he earned it. So
I love that.
Good people.
Yeah, especially when you have, like, like you said, it is a fishing family. So, like, when your family members do well, like, it's always so nice.
Yeah. They understand the hard work.
So, well, and they get to see it, too, because, and you guys, I might have mentioned it, but our staff, meaning MLF staff, they travel to all of the events. This doesn't change every event or anything like that. Like, they travel too. So they get to see you at your absolute best and at your absolute worst before and after tournaments. So it's also like they're a part of every single piece of it. So I always love when, they get super excited too. Because that they're just like also invested in the success. Because they are. Okay. Like I was saying before, I love all the women. I love all the people behind Professional Bass Fishing, but I definitely love sharing their successes with you because it really is tons and tons and tons of hard work. And it takes the whole village to make it happen. So it's super exciting. I love being able to share it with you. As you guys know, we do one episode a week every Thursday. If I'm really good, if I'm not, I'll let you know what day it comes out. Like last week, I think it was Friday or Saturday.
You had a lot going on.
But typically every Thursday, and I'll continue sharing their stories throughout the rest of this year. We are headed into our last two events. Like I said, this one is stop 6 in the final event of the Invitationals. Then we'll have stop 7, final event of the Bass Pro Tour. And then we're going to be doing some at-home interviews with different anglers' wives. So super exciting coming into the off season. I'll get to travel a little bit, and you guys will too. So thank you for being a part of it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We also have an Instagram page at Random Kitchens Podcast. I also now have a store. Super exciting. So it's the Catch, Kiss, and Release company. But all of that can be found on that Random Kitchens Podcast page until I actually set up its own page. So if you want some fishing gear, or I love fisherman gear, just go on there, or you can, send me a comment and I'll send you a link too. But other than that, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.